Welcome back, everyone. I could not be more delighted to be interviewing my next guest. This is Jenni Parker Brown. She is a quantum alignment maven. She helps ambitious, mission-driven women to step into their full potential as super leaders. She's founder of the House of Preeminence and is a visionary multi-potentialite. Her eclectic careers range from fashion retailing, the performing arts, fitness instructor, equestrian cabaret artist, award-winning gastronomy chef, published author, style and image consultant, magazine editor, and genius consultant. In 2017, she was chosen by the award-winning TV reality show Fix My Brand with Ali Craig as a candidate, and subsequently she was invited onto the program as mindset expert and assistant image stylist for seasons 2 and 3. Jenni is a renowned thought leader who has developed world-class tools and experiences for women with dreams as big as their hearts. Her quantum success business model, the Trinity Code, is transforming the lives of many women. Following your heart is Jenni's principal inspiration. Her work is backed by solid neuroscience, quantum physics, a passion for well-being and fulfillment, with a whole lot of creative muse and a mission to reveal to as many women as she can reach the magic of basing their life on their genius and superpowers. Jenni's mission is to raise the bar on personal transformation through sharing the incredible and proven power of the Trinity Code, a groundbreaking quantum success model for the 21st century. Her proudest achievements include becoming a professional dancer at age 41, after birthing 2 daughters 18 years apart, creating her own equestrian cabaret, yes, that's horses, under a circus big top, and within 2 years, turning a bankrupt, downtrodden hiking hostel into a 6-figure fine dining tourist attraction in the Pyrenees Mountains, France, where she lives. Jenni, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a mutual passion, this topic that we are going to cover with all of your guests. So I couldn't be more proud and delighted to be a part of it, Kip. Thank you.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Jenni, my sense is right now there's a clear movement happening with women led by visionaries like you. Can you talk a little bit about that? What do you feel is behind this movement, and what does it mean for women, particularly we women over 50?
It's a great and really pertinent question, Kip, because I've been in and around the coaching arena for quite some years now, and I am sure that women who are service providers, people helpers, healers, coaches, consultants, and creatives as well, they already had a sense that the work in human potential was already contributing to improving the world. But since the pandemic, and since the events that are subsequent, are happening now, I can feel tangibly this sense of urgency that seemed to be uniting women everywhere, and the conversations that we're having with women are just incredible. And it's not just women entrepreneurs, even women who have maybe kind of finished their career, or women that are coming into it, that they are feeling it too. And not just the Western women. All women feel part of this great prophecy by the Dalai Lama that he said the Western women will change the world. I don't think it is the Western women. I think it's women will change the world. Women know it. I do believe that women have always known it, but they've just said, look, stop. We're going to get involved now. It's time, and it's urgent for all sorts of reasons, for climate change, for healing, for the imbalances that we face, not to mention, the mess that our institutions are making. So I think women generally are just, it's so innate. There's probably some cosmic rays beaming through us, that women are tuning into, because so many of us are light workers and are aware of all these energetic shifts as we evolve in consciousness. So I know from the magazine, from the people I talk about, from all of my leaders and my influencers that I have in the magazine, that every single woman knows that her time has come, and she is asking how to collaborate, how to unite, how to be in sisterhood, how to work together. That is all women are asking to do right now. So the Preeminence platform, even though it wasn't for that, that to create that movement in the beginning, it's now become another pioneer in towards this movement that you're talking about, and there are lots. So that, to answer your question, it is really to group these women, but not just for the purpose of healing the world. I do believe, Kip, that our potential in healing the world will be a reflection of us fulfilling the potential in us. So we need both. It's not just about us rolling up our sleeves and getting on with what's going on. It really is knowing and showing women that they are born for greatness. All of them, all of us are born for greatness. And now we have so many new tools and new ways that women can step up to the lives that even they didn't think of 5, 10, 15 years ago. So it's momentous times indeed.
So much in there that we could dive into. You've touched on this idea that all us women have within us a superpower and a kind of zone of genius. And so your work is, first of all, working with the individual so that then she can go out and have an impact on the world. And your work deals in quantum physics. Could you talk a little bit about that for anyone that's not familiar with quantum physics? A lot of people have heard the term, but maybe aren't quite sure what that means. So what is that, and how does it connect to the work that you're doing?
Well, it's basically the law of attraction. It's just like, that's what we know it as, the law of attraction, except that now it's been proven, it's been demystified, and we know that we're creators of our reality. It's been proven by so many incredible thought leaders like Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden and all those and Joe Dispenza and those guys who really have all the statistics to prove the influence that we have on the world. But at the end of the day, it is we do work and live in this quantum field. So which is where my Trinity Code work comes from. So I'll just dive straight into that. Is because I've been studying, and if I could, I'd like to backtrack a little bit back to the horse dancing, because I know you want to because it's totally relevant. It's I fulfilled a really big dream, like a huge dream in between 2003 and 2006 of becoming an equestrian cabaret artist. And I took it to the summum of making my own production under a big top and taking my horse to Haute École, and it was just incredibly Cirque du Soleil, but it didn't make me any money. But nevertheless, when it happened, I had this kind of epiphany, and I thought, how can I feel so fulfilled, full of grace, so connected to everything? And a few years earlier, I'd been really, really disconnected to my true self, disconnected to my financial potential, practically suicidal. So I asked the universe, what is it that takes people from the depths of despair into this kind of connection with their potential? And the universe answered me, not just in a flash of lightning, but over the years and my research and working with people. And it was actually during the working on the branding TV reality show, Fix My Brand, as I was rebranded, that I discovered just working with a simple Venn diagram that actually there was a pattern in the universe which has to do with numerology. It has to do with the power of 3, the rule of 3, the fundament of 3. I'm sure all your listeners are going, pricking their ears and going, oh, I love threes. You know, threes are innate in us, in our culture, in our myth, in our legend, in all of our spiritualities, in all of our culture, in our DNA, in the cosmos, in just everywhere. And when I started researching this, I was wondering where it was leading me. And I found an author who'd already done this work, and he had linked it to manifestation. So we're going back to the law of attraction again. And then the penny dropped for me. I thought, okay, now I understand this quantum field of creation that we're in, and how you can use it with this power of three and this universal pattern. So I wanted to make it practical. I wanted to ground it, for it not just to be an idea or something metaphysical. So because I was working with women, I actually made it into a model and a process and a methodology whereby I can activate a woman's greatness and her superpowers by helping her, taking her through the process of revealing her superpower in this pattern of creation. So we're taking the power of creation and the law of attraction and quantum physics, and we're taking something cosmic and that is actually out there and putting them together. And when I take them through this process, that they're absolutely blown away, because for the first time, they can actually articulate who they are. And in marketing terms, most service providers, entrepreneurs, they start with, or they're preoccupied with the idea of, how am I going to build my business? How am I going to start my business? What shall I do? What does it look like? They're always in the what's and the hows on getting their business going or scaling their business. And if they are like so many of the women that you and I both serve, purpose-driven, mission-driven, soul-led, heart-centered, all of these things, they will probably have a very, very good understanding of their purpose, their why. And my work takes them one step further back to be able to articulate who they are. So that is why it is so powerful, why it reveals the superpowers. And it was honestly the trajectory of my heart-led life, Kip, that actually led me to this realization. And now, having worked with so many women in this and this, seeing the incredible results, this links back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the conversation. Is it links them back to their potential, and as we said, their potential is the world's potential. I hope that makes sense. I've said an awful lot in a short space of time.
Oh, it absolutely does. And again, I think if I'm understanding correctly, you're working with women on the most fundamental level, to help them uncover their own genius, so that they are empowered to then go out and empower others. So starting with one to many. And so in addition to the Trinity Code, and you've touched on part of that, I think, with grace and genius, you've also developed the 9 principles of preeminence, all of which is housed within your house of preeminence. So could you talk a little bit about the house of preeminence? What was the catalyst for you to create that, and how is it serving?
It was my own Trinity Code, quite simply. This is how powerful it is. It's magic. So just before the pandemic, when and my mother passed away, I decided to kind of take all my offers off the table for a while and just sit with it. And I decided to go deep into my own Trinity Code, and which I can actually share with you what my Trinity Code is. It actually comes out as an I am statement. It's who I am. So how it is articulated is, I am the embodiment of grace and beauty, profitably using my creative genius to raise the bar on transformation and help humanity rise. So that is exactly who I am. And this is why that it's manifestation, because the universe mirrors right back to me. Yes, you are that. And if I'm sure your readers know about enough about this dynamic. So what that looked like was this big download of bringing back the magazine, because I'd had a magazine in 2011 and 12. So that was the download at that moment, was bringing back the magazine. Only this time, it's called Preeminence, and Preeminence Rising, because this is about women's potential, being the best they can be, living the best life. And because I'm very prone to downloads, that's what I do. It's like I'm just a walking download person. The 9 graces came through. So the 9 graces are a blueprint. They're all examples of preeminence, so that it becomes practical, that this is not just out there, it's a fluffy idea. It's a tangible blueprint that women can use to not just improve their business, but all their lives. So the 9 graces, as I'm sure you've seen the magazine, are excellence, distinction, renown, peerlessness, prestige, leadership, endurance, and renewal. Not sure if I might have missed one out, but anyway, those qualities, as I call them, or the graces, are all examples of preeminence. Excellence is an example. Distinction is an example. Transcendence is, I think I forgot that one. Transcendence is an example of preeminence. So I've broken down this big idea of preeminence and made it into these graces that ladies can just work with. And my ladies, they journal on them. They choose a grace of the month, or three graces for the week. And I just work with those. A lot of us at the moment are really working on transcendence as we see the mess around us, and endurance as we roll our sleeves up and we do great work, and renewal, especially as wise and wild as we are, we know that we're renewing and rejuvenating. So the ladies can take whatever graces they want every single month. They're in the magazine, which is entirely free, and there are prompts every single month on the graces, and a planner, so you can journal on it, you can use them, and apply them to your own life and the business. So it really is a very, very high vibe tool.
Oh, the magazine, when I got my first copy of it, I just fell into it. It is gorgeous. It's opulent. It's rich in so many ways. It's not fluff at all. I mean, visually, it's absolutely stunning, but there's so much depth to it. And it seems to me to be a real tool that women can use to help transform their lives. So there's just so much in those magazines. I mean, again, visually it is gorgeous, but it's so much more than that. Can you talk a little bit about what's your idea for the magazine? What's the impact that it's having?
Well, I would love to. First of all, I selected curated my executive contributors who are in there monthly, including Marsha Martin, who is the legend of the human potential movement. So she's one of my founder members, and I curated really powerful ladies in different topics, so that they would be complementary, because that we've got style, and we've got money, and we've got everything that women like, basically. And you're right, each of those articles are more than articles. They are trainings, they're masterclasses. So every single issue really is a complete yes, masterclass. We like we like the word masterclass, of training on a theme. And we've had all sorts of themes. And again, they're not just about marketing and business. We've had relationships, we've had style, we've had manifestation, we've just had all sorts of things. So I'm just continuing, Kip, to keep evolving the platform. That's what's really important to me. You know, a lot of magazines can get to a stalemate, and they can also get to a state where people go, yeah, it's a magazine. But as you recognize so kindly, it's not. It's actually, it actually raises your vibration reading it and getting it into it and using the prompts. So it's my job all the time to keep pushing the bar up. That's in my Trinity code: raise the bar, raise the bar, raise the bar, raise the bar. So it's constantly evolving. Now, of course, I've got a community, and my guild and ambassadors are able to get some exposure through the magazine. So it's kind of spreading outwards and becoming a community, but also showcasing people like yourself and your other guests who've got really, really powerful messages to share right now. That I think is the real raison d'etre of the magazine, is showcasing and being a platform, a conscious platform for the voices that need to be heard to move women on right now, which is why I'm so delighted to be on this event.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, as I said, when I first looked at the magazine, I fell into it, and my experience of it, as you've touched on, I felt there was a kind of sparkling energy around me. I felt elevated in a way and expanded, and I couldn't believe it's free to begin with, because it's just so full of depth, wisdom. It's remarkable. I think for many women in their 50s and 60s and beyond, and the reason I've targeted this demographic for hosting this masterclass is that it's such a time of transition for them, for lots of different reasons. And so this work that you're doing so beautifully serves them. It just meets them at all those levels where they're questioning now. And certainly the speakers that I've interviewed and am interviewing for this masterclass, their message is the same, and that's no matter what the topic is. It's all about this starting from within, starting from sort of where we are energetically, and then going from there. And you certainly encourage women, and you've lived this yourself, to follow their passions, follow their heart, and your own. I'm hesitant to use the word career trajectory for you, because career doesn't seem like the right term. It seems to me that you've identified passions, and then you've just explored them to whatever degree they needed exploring, such as the horse cabaret, for example. And I know what I hear sometimes women when we have these conversations around transformation and doing that kind of self-work is, it's all very well, but they need to pay bills. They have very practical concerns. I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. What can you say to those women that are maybe struggling a little bit in the day-to-day, but know they want something more? I think we're all seekers. So what can you tell them about that, about, you know, bringing more into their lives in whatever way that might manifest?
Well, it's really alignment. That's what alignment is. You know, the abundance is there. Abundance exists everywhere, and it's when we're aligned with it that we can receive it, and we can receive it when we are connected to our heart space. Because, and I'm, you know, this, I'm sure people are familiar with this, as we know, everything is energy, and that we need to resonate at the frequency of money and abundance. The time that we do that is by being really connected to our hearts and being occupied by things that put us into bliss, that our natural gifts, the things that we stand for. So this is really alignment. And I never, I didn't set out to have a career at all. I just set out with the next thing that was on my heart, just like, I'm going for that. And it took me all over the place. And some of it was quite scary. But every single time I did a quantum leap, even without knowing, just, like sometimes you have to give up the what and the how and go to the who. Mm-hmm. As I said in the beginning, is if you can stay attached to your what and your how forever. How am I going to pay the bills? What does it look like? What shall I do? How am I going to figure it all out? You don't have to, because the universe doesn't work like that. The universe works on how much you are engaged in the highest vibration you can, putting your genius and superpowers out there to the universe. It also helps if you're an entrepreneur, because you get a direct line for the universe to give you money. So it's a big detail. So honestly, Kip, I have been through 3 bankruptcies with ex-husbands, and one business of my own that I actually put into insolvency, voluntarily, because I knew it wasn't my destiny. The universe has supported me every step of the way. And on the contrary, every single time I said, no, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. This relationship, this place, this business, whatever's happening, it isn't for me. I know there's more. I know that there's more of me. There's something else. And when I've listened to that and I followed it without knowing how it would all transpire, the universe just laid the breadcrumbs one after the other. The universe will lay the breadcrumbs. It's guaranteed. And I get it. It's scary, especially if you've got people dependent on you at this time. But we come back to the quantum reality that we're living in. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the only example. There are so many really successful women leaders in our generation who are teaching this same thing. The thing is that one day we will get to that last breath and say, did I have any regret? And that for me, that the saddest thing that we can do and is not to have gone after a dream or a passion or a calling or a mission. Everything else will be there. Everything else, the breadcrumbs will be laid as long as you know who you are. That is the absolute key.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. And this is a lesson that's been hard for me to learn. And certainly it can be challenging for the clients that I work with sometimes too. But I think it's exactly right what you've just spoken about. And that is the way to real transformation is not about working harder, doing more, acquiring more. It's about who we're being. And I know for myself, when I'm in alignment with my values, when I'm being this person operating in a higher vibration, things will just show up. It's like magic and it's effortless. And it doesn't mean that there are no longer any problems or issues to deal with. There are. It's just that I guess I would describe it as I feel like I'm infinitely resourceful because I'm able to tap into an energy that's so much greater than I am. But it's this idea of not doing more, but just looking at who we're being. Because I think we women, especially at this phase in our lives, we've had decades of doing and doing and doing, caring for others, managing a career, supporting a spouse, family members, etc. That it's hard to stop that idea that I have to, if things aren't working, I just have to do more or do something different. And no, it's about stopping and looking at who we're being.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes back to preeminence, because preeminence as a model, as a blueprint, is not about, in the traditional linear success model of trying to get somewhere. like, you know, this, even we went through this probably 10 years ago, you know, between 10 and 5 years ago, still trying to get somewhere. That's the goal. We're trying to get there, whereby we understand enough about how life works now, as exactly as you said so accurately, to know that all the secrets and all the revelations come from being. So if you are preeminent, then preeminence will be given to you. If you are in distinction and renown and transcendence and renewal and prestige, then all of those things will be given to you. So you're absolutely right. This is such an important key, for because I know it's so easy. We get up on a Monday morning and we just go, okay, I got all that, and you know, my 3-month goals, and I've got to do all that. But we don't. We really don't. In fact, they can sometimes, all of those goals can sometimes just hold us back from the most brilliant, lucid insights, as you said, that come, and when you give yourself to them, they are magic, which is why the magazine is magic. I gave myself to being my Trinity code. I gave myself to being preeminence. So magic has happened, and I could not be more delighted with the incredible things that keep happening around it. So it's teachable. Women can learn this.
Exactly. And so, you know, you've created House of Preeminence, you've created the Trinity Code, you've created the 9 Principles of Preeminence. You are a creator. You are an incredible creator. What's on the horizon for you? What's next? Do you have any other projects coming up? Or
Goosebumps. My big one now. This is the one that I've hitched my heart to the big star, is to make a film documentary about the Trinity Code, because it is so incredible. I need to get it out to people in a bigger way than just helping women who can then become, you know, the fullest version of themselves. So the idea of creating a film with media and travel and ancient wisdom and sacred geometry and transformation and all of that is an up-leveled version of my own Trinity Code. So this is it. There's nothing fixed about it. So that is the next big one. So I've already got my first destination for next year. So so that's the one.
Wow, that is beautiful. And I have goosebumps too when I think about that. Inside, as you were talking, I'm hearing voices saying, yes, 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 go, Jenni, go. Oh my goodness. Jenni, I've absolutely loved having this conversation with you. And I think we could probably talk for hours about this. It's so helpful. I know our audience will have gained enormous insights from talking to you or listening to you, talking with me. You have a gift for everyone. Could you talk a little bit about that now?
Well, the best place that people can come and find all of the gifts, because I actually have a lot of gifts, is to become a subscriber of the magazine. First of all, you get the magazine monthly, and it's free, as you said. It'll always be free. It gets to more people who need it. So the magazine is free, and within that we have so many free resources. Even my contributors in every issue, they give gifts generously as well. So it's Christmas in preeminence all the time. It's Christmas, even in my Facebook group, different quests, all sorts of things going on. So become a subscriber to the link at jenni-p.com/magazine. I'm sure you'll share it, and discover the world that is preeminence, and there's, you know, everything waiting there for you.
Oh, it's wonderful. Jenni, thank you so much for doing this. And particularly, I want to thank you for the work you're doing. The world needs visionaries like you. I feel so grateful to have come into your orbit. I feel that my life the energy has been raised as a result of interacting with you. I love what you're doing. Anything I can do to help support, I'm more than happy to do that, because I think you are helping change the world in such a magnificent and significant way. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. We're working together.